Welcome in, language learners. Today, we are actually staging a bit of an intervention. If you're gearing up for the JLPT N5, you've probably started out by using English letters to write out Japanese sounds, right? Well, in this explainer, we're setting a major goal. We are going to completely upgrade your reading from that beginner crutch over to authentic katakana. We're going to tackle the first half of the katakana chart, from the A row to the N row, and really decode those absolutely crucial pronunciation rules that end up trapping so many English speakers.
We've got some tough love right out of the gate from our expert source, who happens to be a professional interpreter and JLPT specialist. Translated, it basically says, stop relying on Romaji immediately. Seriously, relying on the English alphabet to read Japanese is a massive trap. Now, I know it might feel super safe right now, but it's a habit that will absolutely cost you a passing grade on the N5. So let's explore exactly why that is, and more importantly, how we're going to fix it.
So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover the Romaji trap. Then, we'll dive into katakana rows A to N, followed by the long vowel mark, the rhythm of N, and finally, we'll wrap up with N5 exam readiness.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the Romaji trap, why you absolutely must abandon the English alphabet.
Seriously, think about the cognitive load for a second. Processing the Romaji spelling of knaifu means your brain has to juggle 5 individual English letters, blend them together, and then translate that into a concept. Now contrast that with the actual N5 vocabulary word for knife in Japanese. It's just 3 crisp, efficient katakana characters. By training your brain to recognize that katakana block instead, you're dramatically increasing your reading speed. Plus, you completely bypass your native English phonetic habits. You literally stop reading English and start reading Japanese. It's a total game changer.
Moving on to Section 2, katakana rows A to N. Let's break down the first half of the chart.
Japanese pronunciation is just this beautifully structured grid. Across the top, you've got your 5 pure vowels, a, I, u, e, o. And as you go down, we combine those with our first consonant sounds to create the ka, sa, ta, and na rows. So for example, in the A row, you'll find characters used in super common N5 words like aparto for apartment. And down in the na row, you'll see the na used in naifu, which we literally just looked at. But here's the absolutely crucial thing you need to remember. Each character in this table represents one flat, even beat. There are no heavy stresses like we have in English. Every single block on this grid takes the exact same amount of time to say.
Okay, Section 3, the long vowel mark. We're going to talk about stretching the sound perfectly.
So, the key here is understanding the mechanical function of this dash symbol, known as the long vowel mark. I cannot stress this enough, it isn't just some stylistic choice. When you see this horizontal line in katakana, it's a strict instruction. It's telling you that you must extend the vowel sound that comes right before it by exactly 1 full beat. If you ignore it, or honestly, even if you stretch it for too long, you are actually saying a completely different word.
Let's look at a real example. Take official N5 vocabulary word number 136, the katakana word for elevator. It's written out with 2 of those long vowel marks. We have idebe, ta, a. Now, in English, we have this terrible habit of just butchering the vowels, swallowing the syllables, and just blurting out elevator. But in Japanese katakana, you absolutely must respect the rhythm. The B gets an extra beat because of the mark, and the ta gets an extra beat. If you try to read this using your old Romaji habits, you'll just rush right through it. Seeing those visual dashes physically reminds your brain, hey, hold that sound.
Which brings us to Section 4, the rhythm of N. Let's master the Japanese N consonant.
Consider N5 vocabulary word number 583, which means bread. In English, we usually just smash the word pan out as one quick syllable in a fraction of a second. But remember our rule from earlier? Japanese is timed completely differently. This word is honestly the perfect test subject for understanding syllable timing, or what linguists actually refer to as morae.
Let's really break down the mechanics here. Unlike in English, the katakana N, that second character you see, gets its very own distinct equal beat in the rhythm. Step 1, you say pa for 1 full beat. Step 2, you say N for 1 full beat. Step 3, you combine them with equal rhythm. So it's not a quick pan, it's pa, N, 2 total beats. Your reading speed and your listening comprehension hinge entirely on hearing and feeling these distinct equal beats. If you rely on Romaji, your brain just kind of merges them into one English syllable and you're going to miss the correct pronunciation entirely. Finally, Section 5, N5 exam readiness. Let's tie this all to your actual test strategy.
Our expert sources break down the JLPT N5 structure beautifully here. You've got roughly 90 minutes total, 20 minutes for vocabulary, 40 minutes for grammar and reading, and 30 minutes for listening. I really want you to focus on that middle section, 40 minutes for reading. Our sources explicitly warn that if your character recognition speed is slow, you will absolutely run out of time in the reading section. You literally cannot afford to mentally translate Romaji back into Japanese during those precious 40 minutes. You need to instantly recognize that a long vowel mark means an extended sound and that an N character gets its own beat. That way, when you see a word like knife or bread in katakana, your brain instantly knows the word without a second of hesitation.
So I'm going to leave you with this question to wrap up our explainer. Are you finally ready to delete that Romaji keyboard on your phone and start reading like a pro? Because the training wheels really have to come off today. Start drilling those katakana rows from A to N, respect the rhythm of the long vowel mark, and please, give the Japanese N the space it deserves. Master these foundational skills and you will be well on your way to conquering the JLPT N5. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive and happy studying.